Stoners Saying Things.
What, we're doing it live?
Yeah, it's live. We're live.
We're recording?
We are recording, my friend.
Oh, word. Well, welcome
Dicks are hard and we are on.
Dicks are hard. Cocks is out. Bud is about to be ground.
In a moment.
So yeah, check it out. It's Hodgepodge Lodge. Welcome to the Hodgepodge Lodge podcast.
Yeah, boy.
Episode 2 already. We're banging them out.
Fucking
Dicks, we hanging them out.
Cockfest.
And bitches, we banging them out. I think I said banging them out twice, but either way.
30, 40 times.
fuck it.
I don't give a shit. If rhyme rhymes with rhyme, it's still a rhyme, right?
Rhyme
Still a
rhymes.
rap, homie.
In 2018,
Bars.
rhyme rhymes
that's
with
a
rhyme,
rhyme.
and it blows your mind.
Yeah, it's a better rhyme than
Whoa!
most of these.
Lime to a lemon, then a lemon to a lime. I'll bust your mind when I hit you with the rhyme. We're talking about generation oversaturation.
Yeah.
Mind rhymes. You know, that kind of plays into it too, and by mind rhymes, I mean like the, the fucking spread of horrorcore. I'm talking about how I fucking was born in 1988. By the way, we got Skate Edson to the left. I'm 50 Funny Names, and we also coming in hot is fucking Joe Buddy to the right, and also Callie. She's near the mic.
Callie.
She's beautiful.
Bark at him.
Yeah, so we're talking about generation oversaturation. We're basically all around the same age. I'm 29 years old. Skate is 31. Money is 29 as well. So basically, we were all fuck that. Don't be like Pat P. Crack Outland Camp. Shout out to Outland Camp. P always says internet old. Yeah, that's what that is. That's what our age is. Internet old.
I'm not old. I'm
Fuck
still
that.
pretty young, man.
Yeah, we're young.
I'm still
bro.
pretty fucking young.
I'm fucking young, dude.
Yeah, I'm saying I feel.
I got one white hair. You see it?
Shit, I feel like I'm goddamn 12.
Look at. I feel like I'm 12 too, and we read comics like
I
we're
know
12.
12. I know, right?
So
goddamn.
you know, you're as young as you fucking want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And when we were young in the 90s, the great fucking hailed exalted 90s, we fucking were subject to a lot of, I feel like, in retrospect. Well, Callie did not like that weed.
She didn't like the green crack.
She did not like the green crack.
Smells too strong for her.
Let me see some of that. Ooh.
I know, it is stanky.
Damn.
It's pungent.
And green crack is a sativa, I believe. Super sativa. We're gonna get really. I'm gonna talk you 10 times more than I even fucking talk.
Lord.
I don't
Yeah.
ruin the fucking podcast. Bringing in sativas.
Huh?
I'm gonna ruin the podcast.
No, you'll lighten it up. We need more. The more talking, the better.
The more, the merrier.
It's like
Well,
what is that rule?
sounds like
that,
we have a spot where I would actually be able to talk. I didn't have much to say on the last.
You're gonna have a lot to say on this
We're
one.
gonna talk about the 90s. I know.
We're gonna talk about the 90s and also the oversaturation generation. And what I mean by that is we were subject, to whether it was by Nate's usual, rigmarole by actual indoctrined, or probably a combination of just capitalism at large, seizing the day of the manipulation of media by using hot tag words, having every fucking program. Let's just get right to the meat of it. Jerry Springer, fucking, all this shit. I'll even say cartoons I know and love, and I'm not condemning.
That's a check on a hooker.
But the Tales from the Crypt Keeper cartoon's a big one too, because I loved it. It's one of my favorites. I had the Crypt Keeper doll. I remember seeing Demon Knight with Billy Zane in 1995, which has scenes like the old man in the hotel being fucking manipulated. It's a dope movie. Shout out to Billy Zane. Fucking Tales from the Crypt. I really hope they do that M. Night Shyamalan shit. Just because I'm a sucker for it, and I hope that he does a good job with it.
Me too.
He has had good films.
Shyamalan has the ability to put out a good film.
He does. And, we basically, Tales from the Crypt, man. Tales from the Crypt.
I grew up on that shit, the real show, not
too.
the fucking
No,
animation.
HBO. Yeah, but
my mom
where
used
did
to
that?
let me watch it late night when she'd fall asleep.
And same here.
Me too.
And
She would fall
same with
asleep and I'd
Skate.
just be watching it.
Okay, so that's
okay.
three. That's three people.
We've been watching.
That we all. And I'm from Quincy originally, and I come from I come from a strange background. So doesn't Money. So from a different part of the state. Same with Nate. Everybody, we all come from different kind of backgrounds and childhoods, but we all have basically the same.
Similar, yeah, definitely.
You know, we were subject to the same media. I think we were all subject to the same media, and
And we were raised by the television.
Yes,
man.
that's why
this
one of my.
What was different about my generation.
See, I want to say that we were a little. We were like on that. We're that generation that like saw it, the change.
Okay.
No, adolescence is when we realized that we've been raised by a television.
I feel
like I was outside when I was a kid. Before the TVs
Beavis and Butthead, The Simpsons, this type of shit, type of shit.
Let me go back to what Money's talking about. We definitely were outside. I was an outside kid.
I was raised outside. I was kicked out of my house.
We talk about this. Yes, same here. At the beginning of the day, you'd be kicked out, and then the street light rule is what it was. You have to be in by the But what I'm saying is, when you were back inside, my mom worked at nights and slept during the day. My dad was on the methadone clinic and slept most of the day too.
Yeah.
So where was I? I was in front of the TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
24/7.
And then like my mom, was usually, she also worked at a gym at night too. And I remember me and my brother, going with her to fucking, because she couldn't get a sitter. We would be in. I remember I smashed my fingers up because my mom was cleaning on one side of the gym, and me and my brother were playing on the gym equipment on the other side.
And you got your fingers crushed by a fucking weight.
Because we were fucking around, yeah. Because you know what? My mom was fucking doing the best she could and all that, you know what I mean? But we all still, regardless of what was happening in our childhood, we all got subject to this shit, and then we all had subsequent, it's weird. It's like...
See, my problem was the computer. It wasn't as much the TV that raised me. I for a long time, I lived on a computer. Like when the computers first started.
How old were you when you first got on?
I built my first computer when I was in first grade for a science project.
You built a computer in first grade?
My mom's boyfriend at the time worked for Intel, so that's what we did for my science project.
What?
He helped me build a computer. So I had a computer in first grade, my first family computer. I built a computer in first grade. And fucking grew up on the internet as soon as it started.
House.
Yo, you know what I did for my first science fair project? It was in 6th grade. It wasn't in 1st grade. Yeah. But I swear on my mother's life, it was the effect of cigarette smoke on crickets. Because remember when they would give you the list of suggested projects?
Yeah.
That was one of them in 1999.
Nice.
That was a fucking suggested. And think about
That's
that.
pimpin'.
That was on the good faith that my dad is gonna it's not me.
Butts,
you know what I mean?
Your dad's just
and he did all jammed fucking
blowing butt smoke on
the crickets. That shit was real.
You sure it wasn't crack?
That was at that was at the suggestion.
He probably had all types of cocaine.
No, he was always a benzo man.
I know.
In the methadone.
Yeah, and you don't be smoking benzos.
Well, you can hope not. No. But it wasn't that bad. He was just
you ain't smoking it in a cigarette. You smoking that shit.
Oh yeah, like this kid Rizal, he did that back in the day in Manamet. I remember he was in fucking Dank's driveway smoking Percocet. Yeah, exactly.
It's his real name.
I mean, sorry, shit. Edit that. Don't let him hear me say that. They're gonna think I hate gays. My brother's gay. I don't hate the gays.
I don't hate the gays. We have gay friends. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can we say any swears anymore?
I know that's just the thing. I feel like if it's in the public domain, people are gonna instantly think I'm a bigot.
And this is the thing that we were talking about, Nate, and it's actually a big we're gonna start off with this and then we'll round back to it. Does the social do we kind of self-govern ourselves with identity politics when we give ourselves too much liberty? Does that make any sense?
Say that one more time.
Okay, do we self-govern ourselves too much when we are allowed enough liberty to, be basically defined by identity politics because we can? We basically okay, everyone can be men, women, whatever, and just to preface it, we don't give a shit on this podcast. We have fucking transgender friends, all kinds of shit, so don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is, in this day and age,
talk about subjects,
it feels like people, because if you know people who are older, whether it's black or gay or me and Money Joe are in marijuana industry, people who have been in like oppressed kind of like cultures basically almost see this strange paradigm where like you have more freedom, but yet you guys are like asking and almost like self-governing each other more than.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
To be everything's PC, everything's politically correct.
Overly political correct. That's what I guess I'm trying to say.
Everything's,
in place of the government, we'll do it ourselves.
People want to get out there, so nobody wants to offend anybody.
Exactly.
Nobody
so
wants
everyone's scared. So everyone's reserved. So they all
Companies
follow
are getting shut down
the
right now
crowd.
over this shit,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? Like guns, for example. Let's just bring up guns.
It's a great example because how many of us played with guns as a kid?
As kids.
And
enjoyed guns or enjoyed firearms.
And I'm not against guns either. I'll say that either.
I'm pro
but
guns,
it's definitely, it's again this byproduct of like people
But that's the thing. If you say you're pro-gun, right?
Very
people are
pro-gun.
going to be like,
you want to go me?
All you want. I'm pro guns. I don't believe in regulating guns. I believe that we should be able to have access to guns. Because I'll tell you this: if you have a license, that means you passed the tests.
That's crazy.
That's
why what I'm trying to tell you right now
is be a little more strict than that guy.
Like, if you have a license, you should have been able to already
Why
pass
do you
the
think
test.
that state he just got murked up there? You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker, he had been interacted with the cops hundreds of times. Fact of the matter is, I love guns, and I do believe that we should have them in case the government or anyone ever comes fucking with us. And a lot of people's argument is like, well, if they come for us, we're fucked anyways. Well, that may be true, but I'd rather be fucked with a fucking AK.
I'd rather shoot myself in the head once it's actually going down.
Nah.
And that's why I shouldn't be able to own a gun.
Motherfucking
You understand that though? Can I cut through all the bullshit and say like I have suicidal thoughts, I'm on medication, and I don't ever want to be able to own a gun. I don't want a gun.
You wouldn't have been able to, in Massachusetts at least, you wouldn't be able to get a gun
because I went to a fucking I went to a goddamn emergency room in 2013, said I wanted to kill myself, and I had a plan and all that, So I hope that that's taken into consideration somehow.
It's supposed to.
Although that's the blessing and curse of HIPAA, though. I don't even know if they can pull that unless you're actually inpatient.
They might not even know.
Probably not.
They might not even find
and that's
that
what
shit out.
That's what sucks is because like
you could probably still get a FID and buy a shotgun tomorrow.
And that's like the blessing and curse of liberty and freedom and all that shit because like
I respect it.
I guess don't pull my medical records because but maybe if you have like known violent or known hospitalizations that are well documented and in correlation with crimes, then you really shouldn't be able to get it.
They should be flagged.
Yeah.
But how people get away with it? That dude in Maine, what was he arrested? 122 some odd
Here's
times
my
or
question:
some
do you guys know if you have to like get review, like have some kind of mental health, like how would you every like I don't even know how many years it is, but you have to get like take a road test again? Do you have to take a road test every few years, or like every
for your guns?
Yeah, take a road test for your guns. See if you can still do drive-bys in this motherfucker.
No, if you're like a blind ass 80-year-old person, they might be like, oh, we need to test you again. Like, you fail.
I think, fuck the comparison then, but I think that there should be some kind of mental health evaluation if you have, like, guns every
once
couple.
you get your gets, they're yours. Until you do a crime, you have drugs in your house, or they just want to fucking take it. And
as I say this, though, I feel like the old me would hate me for saying these things.
Because what people forget is, remember Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans?
Yeah.
They enacted martial law. What happened? They went in there, they raided everybody, even the rich people that was just trying to protect their homes. They kicked their fucking doors in. First thing they did, took all their gats. You can see the footage, you can watch the news footage, watch it all, dude. They steal all their guns. So even if it was a situation where they're coming down for us, they're just going to say, oh, martial law, we need your guns. Nobody's going to fight back, except unless they go to like the hood where they're going to try get into a war,
They,
fire. The ghetto is our last hope.
Fire! Yo, and that is the fucking show, ladies and gentlemen.
I was gonna say
the ghetto is our last hope.
that is the name of fuck whatever I said.
The ghetto is
the last hope. by
I'm not
Skate
even
Edson.
bullshitting you on that.
Man.
What's the name of their show
Please
now?
elaborate.
Because they're
not giving up their
they
guns.
ain't gonna give
They're the
up.
criminals. They ain't giving up the guns. That's what
They
he's trying
ain't
to
gonna
say.
give up their hope.
yes.
Cops already don't go there. They're already scared of these motherfuckers. They're the only people that, if there ever is an end time situation where the government is turning their guns on us, trying to come for us or round us up into FEMA camps or some shit, the ghettos of America are gonna be the last fucking strongholds. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be our saviors, where everyone's gonna flock to that shit and try and fight from there. You know what I'm saying?
The militias will be from the hood.
They'll have the most
Facts.
guns.
Because they're already saturated. And they'll have a common enemy. They won't be shooting each other anymore. They're gonna fucking unite, and they're gonna be shooting those motherfuckers. And there's a hell of a lot more gangbangers than there are cops.
So instead
Or
of the
fucking
reds, you could make the
armies.
reds and the blues.
And if the streets were smart, they would all fucking unite, and we wouldn't even have this problem.
You gotta be like a what the fuck was his
I
name?
want to be like that dude in fucking
Warriors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unite all the
Simon.
gangs.
Fucking Matrix. Morpheus.
Fact is,
It's
though,
not Morpheus.
if all the gangs across America
Cyrus.
united, we would have the biggest fucking army, and you could literally march to the steps of the White House and say,
They did it years
"What
ago.
the fuck are you doing?"
LSD
Exactly.
Coalition
Fuck
did it
you.
years ago in Chicago, from Chicago.
They did?
Lord Stones and Disciples in the 60s or 70s basically
Black
did.
Keystones.
Yeah, all the fucking like the gangs in Chicago.
Yeah.
They had like a coalition together, like a political coalition, and that's when crack hit.
And then what
Really?
happens next? They all get assassinated by the CIA and the FBI. They
One of
all
them
end
actually
up-
got like the Peace Stones got really super political.
Yeah,
They
man.
were turned into El Rukins, and they started like
And
with
what-
all their money. They Jeff
Look at
Ford
the history,
from the El
man.
Rukins was at Nixon's fucking inauguration. He was invited to the
And why did
inauguration.
these
What year
guys-
was it? What year are we talking about here?
60s, 70s.
60s
I
and
don't know.
70s?
Yeah. However, though, you can look
talking
at
early
that shit,
Chicago
look
gangs
at the
right now.
video
That's just
footage,
some of that
look
little
at the history,
intel.
and they were straight silenced and suppressed, man.
Oh, yeah.
They got all drug cases, they were all hemmed up.
Crack hit and the
Who
fucking all
cares
the
if they
gangs
was
went to shit.
hustling, man?
They were gangs that were
fucking-
helping their communities. Think about
Either
that.
way,
though.
they
all
were-
the gangs weren't fucking like killing each other at that point in
That's
time.
what I'm
Early
saying,
on, it's
there
not
was
what it was
peace.
about.
So it's really the government. It always goes back to the government.
Yeah,
I feel like
because
in this
they take out
podcast,
the-
it's always going back to the government.
They
I feel
take out
like.
the big leader, right? And then there's a power vacuum, and then the gangs struggle for power, and,
And
there's
it's the people
war
without
on
the
the
vision.
streets.
And it's the people without the vision,
Vision.
that end up taking over.
Leaders,
not the people with
man.
the vision, the people who understand.
That's what they need.
Like
So
when
basically
like you want to talk at certain gang show, we can go into that.
So the-
like,
the-
it's
the
kids
crazy.
don't-
So the gangs get bigger. They pervade, out of the cities. The gang culture gets into the suburbs. Now we're talking about the '80s, because it's
Kids just
being
wanna
like
make-
expressed in music and film. The Warriors. We got hip hop. We got fucking motherfuckers. Even the most whitest shit. Hey, watch down shit. The Message, Grandmaster Flash. It's on the radio.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are knowing it. Do you think now that the media, culture became, artwork became more visceral and more violent throughout the 80s as a result of all this shit you're talking about here? Because, if you look at it, think about it. Like, the crime, happens and evokes the news. The news is what people absorb. The artists create what they absorb.
Well,
you know
let's
what I
just put-
mean?
let's just look
And then
at
it
it
kind of
from a
goes right
long-term
back into a
perspective.
big
It's a
circle.
full circle.
You gotta look at it
Perpetual,
long term from there. Think
perpetual.
about where the people, what their end goal. What's the end goal there? They want to dumb down society. They want society to be
Trap
lower
queens.
class.
I'm a
They
trap
want-
queen.
They want trap queens. No, exactly. So
You
what do
got
you do?
trap
They
queens.
want to
so what do you
create
do?
factions
With music
and
that's gonna
have
be
them
hold on,
war.
give me this. Let me get this real quick. Let me
Get
see
it.
what I'm gonna say.
Sorry.
So they want to create this subclass where it's like people that aren't taken seriously, that aren't looked at as something that's able to do something. So who is going to be trusted are the older people who have been around doing things, right? So that's like the idea. So how do you accomplish that task? How do you make it so that nobody wants to give these people with burgeoning ideas and new age ideals and like with this newfound belief and the whole open sexuality, all the like the gay marriage, all this stuff, people who believe in all this, how do you discredit these people? You make what they're about. What do? You make popular. Who has control over popular music? It's people with all the money. All these older people. They're the ones who have control over music.
At the end
and
of the day, the FCC can put
the kibosh on anything you want. Dead easy as pie.
Shout out to George Carlin, rest in paradise, for the university, fought against him.
But
Maggi.
Fucking, you can go a lot of ways with that. But yeah, it's like, how do you do it? You don't let the progressive, positive music become the pervasive popular music.
Rest in peace, Bob Marley.
Hip hop was fucking when it started. Think about what hip hop was when it started. It was simple and
Party
it was very
music.
popular, and it was progressive music. It was
Yeah.
a lot of political shit, which then changes when you get to like the early '90s when gangster rap hits the scene.
Yes.
Where previously cursing like that and talk like that was never allowed on the radio. The FCC wouldn't allow that for a fucking second. Look at any music that came before then. Nothing that was negative or abrasive or anything like that was allowed. But then out of nowhere, all the positive style music gets like cut out. And all this negativity is what's pushed, and that's
glorified.
that's all we have now.
It's all
the music.
It's at the same time glorified, objectified is the better way to say it. And I think we were born into this objectified society of like violent culture and media because we grew up with these battles for parental advisory. Think about that, like as kids.
And
yes.
What was her name? Bush, not the Bush. Who was the other lady?
Tipper Gore.
Tipper Gore.
And her fucking old shriveled dry cunt. And then we had this is what a lot of younger kids. The parental advisory is when I remember, and you guys probably remember in the mid '90s, when television got rated. Television wasn't always rated.
TV14.
You guys remember? It was in 1997.
Yeah,
it was. I remember it.
You started seeing like the TV7,
TVMA, Y7, yeah, exactly.
I remember long before that.
Yes,
I remember when that shit wasn't there.
So it became, but if you look at it, they implemented TV ratings and then let the mature. They completely violate the intent.
They changed them all.
They have TVMA happening at the same time bracket that like a Y7 show is happening on a main broadcast network. Like how crazy is that?
Plus, who didn't
you know what I mean?
stay up till midnight watching Cartoon Network or MTV or?
Well, I'm saying it's broadcast in the middle of the day,
HBO.
and you don't even have to stay up anymore. And you didn't even in the '90s. That's when it started with Jerry, because we skipped school. I'm sure you did. What the fuck would you see in the middle of the day? And the most mild would be Judge Judy or something. You know what I mean?
And
People's Court.
My friend's parents had Cops Too Hot for TV.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And I'd be all on that tape, seeing titties and fucking all that. First you watch a man get beat, smoke crack, and then you see some titties.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is shit we watched as children, and I used to fucking live for this shit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you wonder why society's fucked.
Yeah. And it's a whole generation that has just gotten...
It is. And I'm not saying, I love that shit. Don't get it twisted. However, I understand there's repercussions for our actions, and if we want to have a forward-thinking society in which, we have...
Some people
some
took
form of balance. I'm not saying peace, just balance.
Yeah.
Balance.
It
we
would
don't
be
need
nice.
peace.
Yeah.
We just don't need perpetual war, constant. The United States has been at war since its foundation. We had never have not, or this fucking, it's the Fourth Reich.
Yeah.
The Fourth Reich Haggerty, what about him?
Yo, I'm having deja vu. It's another episode and another pizza.
Next time I see it.
How are we gonna be smoking? I hate smoking, eating, and recording at the same time. You're a maniac. We can't do all three. I won't have it.
I'm a monster,
Oh,
bro.
I won't have it.
I am a monster, bro.
You just have.
I'm a monster.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that's Zombie Death Squad monster.
Yeah, bro, I know.
I didn't know which monster we were going with.
I could have gone the Vinny Paz monster if I wanted to.
And there's also J-Nuts monster.
Oh, Jesus.
And I guess Tech 9's a monster as well.
Jesus.
There's lots of monsters.
out there.
Ah, real monsters.
Yeah, dope show. Dope.
That
was
me
a
and
dope
Ricky.
show. You guys were real monsters.
We had a couple songs, yeah. That was right before.
Please elaborate.
Jesus.
It was just a fucking.
That was the most honest reaction I ever heard.
I know.
Tell me,
no, it was a bad
were
idea.
you Crumb or
No, it wasn't
Oblina?
anything like that.
Who was
It was
Oblina?
just using the name. It was just the use of the name.
I want to be Grumble.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
it was. We had some fun.
Yo, the Grumble reminded me of Frankenfurter, which I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I went to it, first time I went, I was in 5th grade, I think.
We've seen it live.
Yo, it's
playing
fun.
with
We'll
his
go,
peanut.
man. I put up years
You
ago,
went with
everybody,
Katie and
let's
them,
go.
right?
Huh?
You went with Katie.
No.
And 30, no, didn't you
No,
go that
everybody
night?
left me in the motherfucking dust, and it was my birthday, and it was when I was homeless, so fuck everybody
I didn't
besides
go.
you guys and
I didn't
whoever's
go.
listening.
I didn't go, so.
Nobody
I
went.
was-
I was
someone did some-
on
I'm
Derek's
pretty sure I went
porch
to a-
fucking homeless,
I'm
like,
pretty sure we went to a show that
somebody
night.
help
I think
me.
there was a show that night. I feel like there was a show that night because I didn't go because there was something else going on.
I didn't go
Know
anywhere.
if I was around.
I don't think anyone was. I
probably
don't care.
in
That's
the
the problem with social media is that like you have it warped in your brain like just because you say a status that somehow like it's some kind of telekinetic. Everyone knows
No,
now
so,
what
yeah,
I've
yeah,
said
it
into
is
the
too, yeah,
universe.
it
It's a
is.
universal
It is
exclamation.
law.
It is known.
Yes,
This is like
yeah.
knowing how to breathe.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't
I
know-
fucking uploaded it. It's
I
up
didn't know
there.
about my
It's
sister's
like,
college graduation party.
You missed it?
I didn't know about
Because it was on Facebook, yeah.
only, and I
We've
didn't
all
find out
been
about it till
victim
the day
to it.
before.
And you're a fucking liar.
That's what
You're
my
a
mom told
liar.
me.
You're a liar, and I'm a liar. If you haven't thought the same shit before, you felt neglected or ignored.
Oh, fact.
Because you said it, and the reason why is just because you see social engagement at
Yeah.
the same time that you've said it or whatever, and it's all a whole bunch of yippity-dippity numerical bullshit. But just know that, you know, so if you're going through some rough times and you're judging your shit, comparing and contrasting reality to social media, just know it's probably vastly different between the two. So if it sucks in real life but it looks good on social media, check that out. Or if you think it sucks on social media but it's actually getting good in your real life, check
Right.
that out too. It's all fucking
Real life's
virtual.
fun too.
Real life's way more fun.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
fact. I hate how just ride a train or a public bus or anything, and you will see the zombification.
Oh, it's crazy. When I lived in Boston, I seen it,
It's
man.
also an avoidance tactic with the world. I feel like people have always like public transportation is like an awkward. Oh man,
You know
I'm
what?
sitting there
I
with
seen
people.
something with the
I used to
papers,
put my
right?
head- I used to put my head. Yeah, people use the paper. They
Yes,
wouldn't
I
even
was
read
gonna
it.
say, you're
Wouldn't
right.
even read it. Yo, I don't
You're
people
very
put
right.
their headphones in and like stare at their phone and not be doing anything.
Yeah.
Man, I straight sit
Just so
there
people
and
don't
stare
talk to
at
you.
my fucking.
And they hate you, and that's why they don't. And that's why they got their headphones in because they
I
don't
wish
want
you
to
guys
talk to
could see
weirdos
this
like you.
fucking bulging eyes.
I don't give a
I
fuck.
just sit there and stare.
Because I know
I fire up a
I
fat
know the
joint
average
and I
human.
stare
No,
at you.
that's us.
I'm
Not
saying,
them.
and
Yeah.
I know that the average human hates social interaction and
No, yeah.
fears it.
No, but you
and
want
don't
it
like
too.
that shit.
You
and
also
I
want
fucking
it.
live for that
You
shit.
also want it too.
I fucking enjoy that shit, and when they feel awkward, I feel fucking fantastic.
I love it.
But
I'm not gonna lie, me too, man. That is kind of like my whole steez. I feel so much anxiety that I like, and this is what a lot of performers do: is that you just jump it and you own it and you fucking like, oh, everyone's looking at me, so then
Fuck
now
'em.
I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
all right, fuck you, I'm gonna talk louder and da 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 da.
Exactly.
And a lot of the times that maybe even you too. That's a like our own. That's our version of pretending to listen to the headphones. I'm. You know, peacocking it, like, hey, you know, fucking, like being on train on acid with money and smoking cigarettes and playing with hula hoops.
To be fair, there was nobody on the train with us. We were on the train by ourselves until
With the
like halfway
cigarettes.
through smoking the cigarettes.
But the hula hoops.
Oh, the hula hoops! There was a fight,
And those knives.
and there was
Was there
knives.
a knife?
I think there was. I think the kid might have got stabbed beforehand. I think that was what happened. Someone got stabbed beforehand, and that's why
And
the
then
fight
what
happened.
he got on the.
And then homie had a
it took
gun.
like 5 minutes for
His
everybody
boy
to
had
take
a
off
gun,
their
I think,
their-
though.
Somebody had a weapon, I remember.
I think someone had a gun and like threatened to pull it out.
Because it was 3 dudes beating on one guy, and then all of a sudden they all jumped off him real quick, and the dude who was by himself was just looking like, and he had like his like hand near his hoodie, like,
Yeah,
what?
what?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the funniest part about it is it looked like a damn movie. It was like Migos all taking each other's jewelry off and going like, you hold this,
Well,
I'll hold
before
this,
the-
I'll hold
way
this.
before
Everybody
the
fucking
Migos.
was holding each other's
The
jewelry,
jewelry.
like passing it around like a damn Three Stooges sketch.
Yeah.
It was
You know what I mean?
wild.
It was wild. To
And
be
we
on
were tripping
acid.
hard.
They're like,
Yeah.
hold my shit.
And at that point, you don't have a choice but to be involved in
Yeah.
that. I'd love to see the scaredy footage. Just probably put someone right next to him, like getting
Yeah.
the body on him, like,
Yeah.
don't look at me.
Yeah.
Looking at their phone.
I know, he's like, yeah. He's like,
Please, it's
like,
not real.
oh, Facebook. Status. Status.
Yeah.
For
This
me,
is like
I'm
pre-Facebook,
I am
man.
the saddest
This
status.
was like
It wasn't
pre-Facebook.
pre-Facebook, man.
Pre-Facebook being as big as it is right now.
Okay, because pre-Facebook's like 2003.
But it's
Yeah,
pre-Facebook on your cell phone.
Whatever.
Maybe not
Homeboy,
that, though.
either
I
way.
think
he
so.
was,
I don't know. Maybe a web browser.
Maybe. Bro, we're talking, this is
No,
like
that
8 years
was-
ago, man.
Wow, it was.
This is like 8 years ago we're talking about. The
Yeah,
story we're
I
talking
guess
about. This
time-
is pre-cell phone Facebook, I think.
Yeah. We didn't even
This is
have
like
cell phones.
This
in
is like
2010.
we did not
We
have,
just
we had
threw
those
rocks
little,
at
dude,
each other
I had my
with messages
Nokia
on
phone
them.
still. I still had my Nokia at that point, like my little shit phone when I was coming to see you.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
don't
OG
think I
original
had-
Nokia.
I didn't have a cell phone, if you guys
Until
remember.
I
for
called you on the
years.
house.
Four.
I called you
Yeah.
on the house phone. I remember
pretty
walking
sure I
from
had
Quincy
one.
Station. This is pre-car too.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I
pre-cars,
got,
pre-phones.
it was probably like 2003, maybe. I think I got a cell phone because I did have one senior year of high school. So that had to be 03 at least.
Yeah, I got a cell phone in actually 2003 as well, because that was when I got a whatchamacallit, a job at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Scar your kid. SCAR, scar your kid. 1-800-SCAR your kid. Scare the shit out your kid today.
Do you have a troublesome teen, an angry adolescent, a disobedient delinquent piece of shit you can't control anymore? Well, call 1-800-SCAR your kids and we can send a convicted felon over to your residence within the week to give your child the motivational speech they need.
Yeah, I heard you was caught stealing candy
Yeah,
bars.
so what? Big deal.
You keep on getting caught stealing candy bars, they're gonna lock you up. And you know what they do once you lock you up?
What?
They screw you off the ass! 1-800-SCAR your kid. SCAR, scar your kid. 1-800-SCAR your kid. Scare the shit out your kid today.
I'm fucking stoned. What are we talking about here? We're talking about the oversaturation
Oversaturation
generation. All right, so the 90s was pretty fucking crazy, and like it's funny how, you know, being kids, you know, we were talking about how we seen all this, like, you know, self-regulation, but yet at the same time it would get we would get more like up as we're putting parental advisories on shit. You know, it made artwork get crazier. As we're, you know, putting the warnings on television shows, you know, people are showing asses now. You know, it became a selling point to see fucking Sipowicz on NYPD Blue back in the day. To see his butt, like, how fucking lame is that? Some fat
TV.
fucking bald dude's ass.
And then
was
when they could say shit, they could start to say shit. That was a big deal.
Yes, and then Nip Tuck in the early 90s was like HBO porn, pretty much.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like softcore on FX, yeah.
Yes.
You know, so it's kind of crazy how we made that jump. You know, within a decade, I feel like it just, you know, it's gotten crazier, and nowadays it's anything goes.
And look at the homies in Hollywood in power. They're all have scandals now. They all are, you know, diddling ladies and fucking.
They've all
got, you know,
That's been
even
going
Bill
for years,
motherfucking Cosby, even Bill Cosby.
Yeah, that really fucking broke my heart, dude. I got raised Cosby Show,
Me too,
man,
who didn't?
in his fucking comedy
I
albums.
loved me too. I had the tape cassette, Fat
I love the
Albert.
pudding.
I wonder if that was just a
Come on, man.
euphemism for his dick the whole time.
I don't
Hey,
know.
hey, hey, sit on my fat Albert.
Yeah, right. Who fucking knows, man?
Mush
Oh,
mouth after
fuck
he
that.
busts a nut in their mouth. Again. Oh my god.
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that'll argue, you know, oh, that was the systematic destruction, you know. You know,
Of who? A bunch of assistants that
You
wanted
know,
to get some fame?
we did the same
I'm
thing
not gonna
with
say,
Michael Jackson.
yo, hey, how about this? Fuck Bill Cosby for raping women.
I'm saying.
Suck my dick.
Yeah.
I hate you, but I'm not gonna. You gotta separate like art from the artist and shit like
Yeah.
that. But I'd
have
never.
trouble
If
with
I
that.
had a kid, I wouldn't be able to
Let
show
him-
him like
No, no.
a fucking. But that's crazy because I can sit there at the same time, and I love Michael Jackson. But like, if we can get into that because that was a big part of the '90s too, man. I fucking worshipped Michael Jackson.
No, I have back and forth feelings about it because of, like on some level I'm like, there's no way that so many people would say it. But then at the same time, some of the first people that did said it retracted their stories before money ever counted ball.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the original kids that said anything all retracted their stories before the money got exchanged.
I think he was mentally ill because since he was
His
5
childhood,
years
he was
old,
beaten and
in his
told to
formative
sing.
years,
And
he had no childhood.
Yeah,
I feel like he was
Exactly.
probably.
I think the
this is purely
South-
speculation.
I
But they
think
used
the
to castrate
South-
kids to keep their voices high like that, and they do this like.
Oh yeah, in the choir, back in fucking yes, exactly.
I swear that happened to Michael Jackson, and that's why his voice got all fucked up. He never had the testosterone build up. You know,
That
that's why he
actually
stayed
makes a
all
lot
super
of sense.
feminine.
I don't think he was castrated,
I don't
but
think-
probably bound. They probably
They
bound
could chemically
his.
castrate you,
Yeah,
though.
chemical.
They can totally chemically
These are the
castrate you.
Jacksons, and where are they from? Detroit?
Yeah, but they had fucking. But they got as soon as they got rich. He was rich when he was young. He was in the Jackson 5 when he
I
started
think
before they
bound
made him
his,
big.
This is a really fucked up direction. I didn't know we were gonna go, but I think that they bound his testicles. Now that you're saying it, like a Chinese woman's feet.
Yeah.
They fucking bound little Mikey J's testes.
I can see it.
And he got to sing Ben. That makes me cry sometimes still.
Yeah.
And I fucking dude, he is on par with Bob Marley and
I love
fucking
Michael Jackson,
he
yeah.
united
Fuck yeah, man.
so many people. The black and white,
Like, come on.
you know,
Oh,
like
yes.
it's absolutely
Oh, shit.
insane. You know, the man was talented beyond fucking words.
Yeah, I'm saying.
well,
You know.
far beyond what anyone.
And he laced.
Anyone
You want to talk about?
only one was even like on par as Prince, to be fair.
No, definitely.
To be
Honestly,
fair.
he probably
and,
is
like-
more versatile, like in position, and has more
He has far
skill.
more versatility.
You know, like
He
but-
knows more about. I mean, but then again, Prince was like produced and like sold himself for years and ran his whole everything.
Prince
But
was
Prince never was never on the level of Michael.
Michael
so.
Jackson was like an entity, dude. Like he has, some people have that, like Molly, man, like even Tosh to some degrees, but Hendrix, yeah, exactly. A lot.
He's a
lot.
cult-like figure,
Yes.
if you will.
Aura.
A musical
Yeah,
cult-like
exactly.
figure.
Like you hear the voice and you're like drawn in immediately. Even if you hate it, you're gonna listen and then talk shit like in increments of listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just immediately write off because I don't know if it's the fucking tone or the melody or whatever. But these musicians,
I
man,
can speculate and say that it's tones that they use in the music, in pop music.
Oh, shit.
There are hidden tones that
Frequency,
are
yeah.
frequencies that are pleasing to the ear, and they just set things to certain frequencies. That's a real thing.
No,
That's
yeah,
real.
definitely.
They set frequencies in pop songs in like the hooks and stuff to help make them more repetitive, and they push things to certain frequencies. I don't know the exact numbers. I could ask Johnny.
I feel like
Johnny
that's.
would know the answer.
I
to that
feel
one.
like that's the difference of manufacturing that shit and then making a society of idiots like we have now versus like the people who have it naturally. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about the manipulation, like audio engineering, post production. I'm talking about the people who don't need that, and they don't like the people who don't need that technology. You know what I mean? Because they're getting across the positive
they're on the other
messages.
side.
They're on the other side of the spectrum, exactly, and they
Problem is, I
understand.
think both sides are doing it. So
Yeah, and one's just for liberation, the other one's for subjugation. It's my word of the day.
Shit, man.
liberation is subjective.
Nobody's
It's all,
liberated.
Nathan. Because
I think from your own ideals, like if you were let me put it like this, Bob Marley or even Michael Jackson playing in like Bob Marley playing in Boston in the 1970s in like Fenway Park, where there's like literally people are killing each other over race, segregation city, literally, and everyone black and white is in this motherfucker, hanging out just for Bob Marley, and I guarantee that the homicide rate probably was down. I guarantee that if you were to impose any kind of suggestion, good or bad, people would be more susceptible to it. You know what I mean? In that atmosphere. And I think over time, people have allowed, and we've allowed, and because we like a natural feeling of like this free expression, which we need, but then people who are evil, quote unquote, can see like, oh, when they're docile like this, I can slip in my own shit.
Of course.
Which kind of makes me think about subliminal messages. You guys think that,
You know,
there's like hidden subliminal messages and shit?
Oh, of course.
I don't think it's done as prevalent as it is anymore. I think, like I was talking about before, I think it's more done in tones and things of that nature. I don't think there's as
Not
much
a
of
literal
that.
sentence being said.
I don't see that being a real thing. They did that in the 70s and 80s, and I don't think it worked as well as
So
they
it would
thought
have
it
to
did.
be a correlation of like it elicits a feeling, right?
Yeah.
Or a mental state, but then there has to be some message that's
Well-
happening in some other way.
Well,
that's
that's
just all
the
in
me-
what's
that's
in
the
everything
message.
that's on TV is the message,
Yeah.
man. Everything that's already
So whatever
there.
visual input is going to correlate with the emotion that's being mustered up
Mustered
by
up.
the tone.
Tone.
They're making you feel a certain
By
way
the
about
tone.
what you're
So
watching.
it's a combination.
Like
It's an
violence.
audio,
Violence
visual
is exciting.
combination.
Violence is exciting. It's not scary.
Yeah.
Think about when you were a child and the horror movies. and
Super
everything.
exciting.
No, it was exciting.
Yes.
But remember at first, the idea of it, though, was so it would be scary. To the older people around you, it was scary still. You know why? Because they didn't grow up with the shit.
You're very right. It's
They weren't
normalized.
desensitized.
Yeah, that's
they
why.
weren't desensitized and having it normalized. Think about how much sex was in movies
Yes.
when you were growing up, right? Now, we live in this generation of, like, oversaturation of porn, and porn's free. You can
Yeah.
go and watch porn anytime you want.
Yeah.
Yo,
We used to bring
watch
porn out
porn.
of the woods.
Yo,
We brought out
you
like
had to
South
bring
Park.
magazines and find
Yes.
it in the woods. You like,
Yeah,
found
and
porn
then like
magazines
primitive
in the
little
woods.
apes. We used
Yo.
to, for kids out. Hold on, let's stop this because there might be some kids out there that are not. In
They don't
their
even know what
30s.
paper porn is.
Okay, like you used to have a dirty porn mag
That your
all
brothers
right?
stole
like
from
Club
his
or
boy.
some kind of filthy
Filthy,
cum rag, like
Yeah.
it has
Swank.
your uncle's semen on it.
Yeah.
Like you have
Penthouse
family,
Hustler.
you have the DNA of your kin. Like
Oh,
in
dude.
the pages
12
stuck together.
and
12
Sometimes
others.
you'd only get the pamphlet with the numbers on it, and it only had just like
Like
you
a
know what I'm
couple
talking
times
about?
a
The insert. You'd only get
oh
the
my
insert
God. And
sometimes.
you'd be like, there'd be like a bitch with a dildo in her pussy.
So many
1-800.
she-mails too. Why were there so many
Yeah.
she-mails back then?
I don't
Oh,
know.
they're still
I mean, they
everywhere.
still are now, but I'm just saying, like,
that's another
just-
part of that. That's
I'm
another
just
part of that
saying.
cultural desensitization. They
Before
want to
they
show
I
you
don't
chicks
care
with
about a
dicks.
she-mail. I'm just saying I've seen chicks with dicks.
Why is
Not
it
in
though
person,
that dudes
but
get
in-
excited? They still get a boner. You know what I'm
Dude, you
saying?
hung out with some chicks
They get
with dicks.
ashamed
Yeah.
of it too.
Yeah.
They get ashamed of
yeah.
popping
Ah,
balls
yo,
on
if you
some
want to have a chick
females.
with a dick who gives a fuck, you
We've hung
might
out with
just
chicks
be
with
a
dicks.
guy with some tits.
We've hung out with chicks with dicks.
Chicks with dicks, man. Whatever. You can eat some fucking chicken
All
fingers
I'm
for all I give a
saying
fuck.
I don't
is-
give a fuck what you're about, yo. That's what I'm saying. We are so
Oh, hold on, but
desensitized
Dad,
to
hold
all
on.
of
To
it.
Yeah.
sum that up, we used to take those and beat off in the woods and
Exactly.
hand it off to our friends and
Friends,
shit.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's
so
how
for
we used
all
to
of you who
masturbate.
now have
So
like cell phones,
appreciate your free porn.
appreciate
you
your free
fucking
porn on your cell phone
losers.
where you don't have to pay for
Masturbate
anything.
like a
Jizzing
man
on your
with your
mother's
buddy in
carpet.
the woods.
But, no, but hold on. Let me
Yeah.
let me hit on a point because we're talking about something that I could really like touch on real quick. We porn became so prevalent, right? Assholes over here just
Yeah,
laughing.
sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Jackasses are just over here high laughing. But
Alright.
like serious subject.
Yeah, no,
though.
okay, yeah.
You know, porn becomes so prevalent, everyone gets it. How old were we when we were looking at porn? 10,
Shit, I was
11, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like 10.
Yo, is this fucked up that my dad gave me a porn when I was 11?
No, that's not real. That's very
that
real.
a-
No,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
no, because
'cause
think about
some
when you were
dads want-
older.
yeah,
think about
yeah.
when like back in the older ages, like dads used to take their sons out to get laid back in the day.
Yeah,
that's
you're
like
right.
a real thing.
And they'd get
So-
them like the dirty playing
Yeah,
card,
yeah,
like, the
yeah.
dirty deck of
He gave
cards.
me a
like,
porn.
check
He
it
gave me a
out,
porn on a
son.
Yeah.
VHS.
Oh
and
my
he was
God.
like, and what was really weird is he was like, look at the size of this guy's dick. Like, no, we didn't
I
watch it
would've been
together,
like,
but he
bro,
was like,
that's the first thing you fucking
I
said?
know, and that's what I've thought for the rest of all of my life.
You didn't
Like,
I remember
mention the
stealing
what do
like
you?
that.
titties.
No,
You
he
didn't
talked
say-
about that too. But the
Okay.
first thing he said was, "Look at the size."
of this
So then
guy's
I was
dick.
sitting there thinking like I was like 11, like 5th grade. I was
He had a
sitting there
small
thinking
dick.
like,
You sub
I was just like, why,
You know, it's self-conscious about his penis.
yeah,
size,
definitely,
right?
yes.
Hey,
Yeah,
you've probably seen
okay,
it at
there it
this
is.
point,
You
you know.
just thanks, guys. Why are you doing therapy?
You've seen it at this point. Now being in the
yeah.
hospital with him. You
All right,
know?
no, I have. You
He's
know,
self-conscious
and,
about his penis
yeah,
size. Leave him alone.
nothing impressive. You know.
But I
Hey,
mean,
it's not about the size of the nail, it's how you jerk
Yeah,
off or whatever. I don't
I
know.
don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But regardless, back to porn in young ages, right? So we all got exposed super young. Now we're in this porn generation where people are addicted to porn, legitimately addicted to porn. People,
Look at Japan.
So
No, definitely. Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, all that shit. You know, you.
I went through a patch.
So we
I'm not
have
gonna lie.
no, bro. I've
watched a lot of porn.
I watched a lot of porn. I'm not gonna lie. Some people would say I
You
was
can lie
addicted.
or not.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a fuck. Why
Pee in
do
the
I care?
Bottle sketch. If any Weird Die Young fans out
Yeah,
there,
Pee in
that's
a
kind of where
Bottle.
that came from a little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Pee in the Bottle.
Pee in a bottle. So.
Anyways, yep. Porn.
Because we don't give a fuck.
That's right.
Because we don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck.
You don't. No.
That's why I don't give a fuck. So, you know, I watch a lot of porn. And I feel like that's totally due to the fact that it was just made so readily available. And then you have this generation where we're hyper desensitized to violence, but overly sexually stimulated.
Oh, yeah.
And the music that is prevalent for us, that's being fed to everybody right now, is trash about drugs and selling drugs and being high and whatever. There's like nothing positive out there, no matter what genre you're listening to.
I remember it was really like controversial. Weed would be bleeped out like was taught like it was Morse code or something on the radio. Like you know what I mean? Like, and now again, I feel like a herb a little bit talking about
the
like
word pills. They will blank out the word pills. They won't say Percocet. They won't
that's
say
good.
anything
I'm
like that.
a proponent for that. I don't like the normalization of this shit. And I was talking about not to cut you off, Nate, about NWA back in the day, like dope men. Like remember the moral of that was like don't be a crackhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
there was a
don't,
positive message at the end. They rapped about selling crack and being a crazy gangbanger, but in the end, the homie gets killed or goes to jail or whatever
Ice-T,
the fuck.
a lot of Tupac songs. You know what I mean? There's definitely
there's
morals.
repercussions, and they're letting you know, hey man,
not a good choice.
Yes, you know.
The first song that was popular by fucking Tupac was Brenda's Got a Baby. That was his first like big single.
Well, there you go. You see what I'm saying? And it was under the guise like beautiful, good artwork is even like my favorite group ICP. It's usually like almost like a game of smoke and mirrors, and then that's the beauty of when you actually like think about it afterwards. Like oh shit, like, this is actually presented one way to make you think another way.
Yes.
And I feel like that doesn't happen anymore. And now it's literally, I'm on a pill, I'm on a pill, I'm on a pill.
Well,
and it's like, oh, what's the song about? You know what I mean? Like,
well, there is no illusion. There's no art to it anymore. They just blatantly say shit. There is no...
There's not the metaphorical shit.
There is no metaphor there. There is no symbolism. There's no illusion. There's no this. They're blatantly telling you what's up, and they're blatantly they're telling you exactly what they want.
Because they're not artists.
They want you to get fucked up. They want you to stay stupid, and
if
they
you're
just
fucked up like they are, you won't notice their music sucks.
mm-hmm.
Exactly. And you ain't gonna notice that they fucking sexually assault bitches and slap them around and fucking. You ain't gonna notice that
They're
R. Kelly
pedophiles.
kissed on a girl who was 16 years old or whatever.
I think she was 13.
13, whatever.
I'm not laughing at a 13-year-old girl.
R.
but
Kelly.
I am
fucking-
laughing at the act of the.
R. Kelly.
the act.
I think it's funny that R. Kelly
16.
can still sell out a fucking show and he pissed on a girl. And like people are just like, hey man, he's the Pied Piper. It's the Pied
That's
Piper.
the worst. That makes it even worse.
I know.
Do you know the connotations of the Pied
Pied
Piper?
Piper? I know.
Fucking
I can't
poor
even.
children.
I can't even.
Children.
I know. You know, I just don't like rapey shit.
We don't like rapey shit over here, okay? We're
Oh
not about-
my! I can't
And
say.
I feel like
We're
it's
not
everywhere.
about the rapey
Let me say
shit.
that.
Think about
No.
this. Every one of your female friends, almost 90% of them have some kind of rapey story, some kind of twisted shit happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, like,
It's a very rapey culture.
yes.
I think it's
That's
funny
the-
I think it's funny that you say that because when I used to rap as 50 Dead a lot, if you really listen to it,
Yeah.
a lot about, raping
Yeah.
people with metal dildos and all kinds of crazy shit.
Yep.
And a lot of it was because I didn't get laid until I started rapping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had a very strange fucking...
You had tension
View
pent
about
up.
sex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
strange
You
views
had
about
odd-
sex,
yeah.
too. Like,
You
it was
Because
had
you
a
didn't know
com-
what it was.
Didn't know what it was, and then also a combination of like, I love my parents, both of them dearly, but like growing up, when we watched these movies like Natural Born Killers and fucking a slew of other movies I seen,
Yeah.
like when they were new, being rented, Blockbuster, and the tradition was me and my older brother would have to cover our eyes whenever there was
Tits on the screen.
whenever there was tits on
Oh,
the
yeah, me
screen.
too.
Okay, but violence was
Okay, no problem.
free flowing. Watch all the gore you want.
Desensitization, as long as you didn't have nightmares.
Exactly.
That was at my house.
Yeah, and then I had crazy.
sister
I
could-
had
my sister
systematic
could not.
night.
Yeah,
you
me
know what I had
too.
nightmares about though was the old. It was a character named Whitehead that was a
I
disembodied
just used
head
to
that
lie
would do all
and say
kinds
about
of
my
shit.
nightmares. I used to have terrible nightmares.
I used to wake up screaming, so I fucking you couldn't really. It was horrible, honestly. Whitehead, he would usually just like manipulate my family in some kind of way, so they'd try to kill me, or he would just like be floating down the hall and trying to eat me. And what he was like, you know how like almost like this paint here. Well, that's not really a good example. You know how when you can spackle paint like white paint and it's that weird like fucking choppy texture. It was like that, but like dripping off of his face, and the head itself was that Quaker oatmeal looking dude from Poltergeist 2 and 3. More specifically 3 because he looked all zombied out in
Yeah.
that one. And it was also because that was in like an apartment building and shit like that. So
Yeah,
it resembled
so
my
it resembled your
environment more
apartment,
like
yeah.
I lived in a duplex, but all my friends like lived in apartments and all that.
I
I
lived
was
in an
around it a lot.
apartment in Braintree when I was mad young, like fucking 2nd and 3rd grade, and
Did you see that movie and then have like fucking
no, I used to have nightmares about clowns.
Really?
And I know that's strange, but yeah, straight up and down.
I always loved clowns. Creepy. I loved
My
it
mom
as
had
a little
the
kid. I
faces.
loved it.
Remember
the
Killer
fucking
Clowns from Outer
ceramic
Space.
faces?
Yo, I
ceramic
liked
clown
the
faces
shit.
that
I
used to
liked
be out
Killer
there,
Clowns
like,
from Outer Space, and I watched those films.
Hold on, wait a minute. Clown
The ceramic
faces they used
masks,
to be
like the
out there.
masks, that like your mother would have, or her like friends
Oh,
would
I
have.
think my nana had some of the.
My mom had so
like in those
many.
hobos.
The porcelain
that would,
masks.
Yeah,
like,
and
all
they'd be,
the, like clown faces.
and they'd be
and
hobos, right?
I don't know. They had some like they were
They'd be hobos.
that's
they'd be hobos,
no,
right?
That's
You know.
something different. I think that's really different.
Okay,
but,
different clown.
yeah.
Those were like the
But they would just be these masks.
Yes,
like, just
the
different,
statues.
different types of paintings of of clown masks just all over my house. My mom was obsessed with these masks. You know the ones I'm talking about,
I
right?
do.
Clown
Yeah.
masks.
Look up porcelain clown masks. You'll see. They're wild.
Porcelain clown masks.
Anyways, it never gave me a fear of clowns. I never had an inherent fear of clowns. It was just that was just the nature of the dream. It was maze like my scary dreams are always trap and maze oriented, and have some villainous thing or harmful thing.
Chasing.
Yeah. And I have a lot of falling dreams. I've had dreams where I've fallen down the stairs and literally fallen down the stairs for hours.
Oh, okay, I've seen some of those. That looks like Gacy-esque, kind of. That's very strange, man. Yeah, that's very weird. And I do know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
like these masks, things like that shit. I grew up with these, like all not
That
that,
shit would
not
freak
that
me
one,
out.
but like these
Yeah.
type of things.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Like my mom's collection is
The French ones.
insane.
He's
dude.
showing us these porcelain masks.
They're like
Clown
the
masks. She
French
had like the clown
joints.
dolls, like the dolls
French
too, like
joints.
the little fucking like
Yeah.
super French
They're
out
like
clowns.
gestured.
It
Yeah,
looks
jester
like
clowns.
If
Yeah.
Eyes
yeah.
Wide Shut had a bunch of Pennywise motherfuckers
Fact.
having an orgy with you.
Fact.
Nobody wants that. And it's
Yeah,
in your
they were
aunt's
creepy.
house. But anyways, so seeing sex in that light at a young age, I think also added a reason
Sex related
why.
to violence all the time. Anytime I
yes.
saw it, sex was always only in the horror movies when they were getting killed.
Yep.
And then you have
It was
me.
a very strange thing because all of a
And now you
sudden
have me. There you go.
it would be sex, and then they're killed.
Violence.
yeah.
Because they're having sex generally. That's not what it is in the storyline, but when you're a kid,
That's
you
what
don't
you
get
think.
even half of the words being
Yeah.
said. So it's like, oh, they're getting naked, and every time these motherfuckers get naked,
They die.
it seems
They do.
like
It's
all
like
of a
they get
sudden,
killed.
yeah, there's blood and guts and everything. And then blood and guts just became like, which one of you said it? Like, it just became exciting. You
It's
know what I
exciting.
mean? It just
Yeah.
became... Yeah, it just became excitement, you know what I mean? And nothing, and that's why our parents look at us like, how do you listen to that? How do you watch that? How are you into this? And it's like, yo, because it was normalized in our formative years
Yep.
as just entertainment.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we are...
I was listening to Ghetto Boys the other day, and my mom was like, she heard it and she got wicked pissed, and I was like, cause Willie D was talking about, he was like,
It's fucking Ghetto
like,
Boys.
bitch, hoe, cocksucking nigga or some shit like that. He literally, and my mom is walking past my room, hears that, and she just freaked. But I was like, but you don't know the context, you know? And I'm like,
But you don't know the context.
and she's
This
like,
woman.
Yeah.
The trials and tribulations.
Right? I'm like, you don't
Willie
understand
D.
the
Face.
context, you know, where he's coming
Scarface
from.
is very sad.
Exactly.
Oh,
so,
man.
but
He's a
and then
sad
when
man,
I really
leave him
thought,
be.
when I sat back and thought about it, I was like, ha 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 ha. Damn, I guess we are fucked.
Yo, you want to know what's funny though? Back to that again. I love my parents, but how media can manipulate, and it's just like people trust the media over their immediate reality. I'll give you a fine example. I started listening to Insane Clown Posse, which has been under media and social scrutiny ever since. Fucking, I remember getting it bought for me. Tunnel of Love in 1998. My mom, we had a fucking argument in the store, about which ICP tape I could get, and we settled on Tunnel of Love, because it had the least offensive titles, and little did we know, it goes right back to the issues we're talking about at hand.
It's the most offensive one.
It's one of the most offensive.
sexually
It's most
reprehensive.
sexually yes,
Sexually
exactly.
charged
Super Bowl,
songs.
all this, yeah. And so I went
Cotton
from like
candy,
and I'm going from like violence, like being glorified, sex is bad, to sex is good, and violence at the same. You know what I
Sex
mean? And you
and
can
violence.
dance to it and
Yep.
fucking have a good old time.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are on wrestling. Like I had this big fucking hodgepodge, for the lack of a better fucking term, going on in my head, and I think it kind of led to I don't even know where I was going with that. I kind of blanked out.
Well done.
What were we just talking about? Psychosomatic things going on whenever I bring up that
Tunnel
shit.
of ICP.
And just Bill O'Reilly. Okay, so this is I'm gonna show you how the different watch. 1998, I got bought an ICP tape, but at much argument with my mother, and it was fine. And she would buy me ICP tapes because the agreement was, since I was 10 years old, you don't repeat it. Like, we'll buy you whatever music you want, just don't repeat this shit. Because they want to be relatively normal too. Because I'm like, everybody's listening to it, da 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 da. So I bought the tapes until it was I think 2001 or 2002. ICP was on Bill O'Reilly for whatever, just a general shit show interview. Yeah, that's why they were on Bill O'Reilly, because they had beef with Eminem.
Well,
Bill
that's why
O'Reilly
they
sat
got
him down
notoriety.
and said,
That's what
"We
they started
heard that
getting all
there's some
notoriety.
dick sucking talking going on, and we
They got a whole
want to
shit
hear
ton of
your side
notoriety
of it."
around that time.
I think it was more like they were skewering fucking ICP for manipulating children. Because,
That sounds like a Bill O'Reilly topic.
yeah, and that's what it was, because I came home. I'll never forget it, and it was like 7th or 8th grade. I came home, and my parents had all my ICP tapes on the table, and they were like, "You're not listening to this shit anymore." And then I was like, "What the fuck do you mean? Like, you literally have bought me these tapes. Why?" And then they were like, "Oh, well, we seen on Fox what this is all about, and you're not listening to this fucking shit." And then I was sitting there thinking I've been listening to it, and I told them, I've been listening to it for years. What makes you think I'm going to stop listening to it now? And then it was just basically oh well, basically don't don't repeat it. And it just kind of showed you that how much our parents, I think it's more a lot of our parents, and not as much as our generation, their opinions are completely solidified by
By what the news says.
yeah.
It's because they believe that the news is telling the
truth.
truth.
Yeah. It's
That's
just
what
the ultimate
that's what
truth.
they've been fed. They've
Yeah.
been fed their whole life that the news is unbiased and
Ah.
exactly. But
that's
your
great.
parents believe that that's true. Your parents do. They think that the news is an unbiased thing, and that what it says is true, whichever news channel they subscribe to. You know what I mean? There's so many options for where you can find your news. You're gonna
What
find,
news do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Which news do you want to hear about? What news preaches to your values and
Yep.
your sense of
course.
what's
True.
right?
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 different options that I can think about off the top of my head.
All owned by the same people.
Are you a connoisseur of good, fresh, local food? Enjoy cannabis as much as we do? Well, then come join us for dinner sometime with Mass Cannabis Chefs. for infused fine dining prepared by chefs with over 13 years experience in a wide variety of culinary arts. From sushi to filet mignon, Mass Cannabis Chef pairs high-quality THC to complement each and every dish to your desired dosage. All events are 21 plus with required ID. For more information, visit masscannabischefs.com.
Probably. Yes.
It's like 2 companies, literally.
Real talk. It's not a lie. Not a lie. But like you get around here, what we have 4, 5, 7, 25, WB, the New England,
MSNBC.
NECN, MSNBC, and like fucking.
We got fucking A&E.
They can watch
we
all
got
of it. No, what I'm saying.
TNT.
No, but that's all just like up the span. Yes, you went to a couple like more global, more like world like nationwide shit. But that's only like 2 or 3 nationwide. Now we're talking like 5 or 6 local stations that you can choose from to hear about all your local shit.
Yep.
With a different viewpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they can find the news that fits them, and then they're gonna believe what they say. So the people that are behind those channels are going to feed them whatever they want to. They're going to listen. They're going to do what they're told. And we're going to be here talking about it. Because there's not really much you can do at that point.
Yeah.
Sad to say, man.
So, I feel like, do you think that the oversaturation of all sex and violence of the 90s and the media and culture, some of the mental illness you see today and some of the more like
Lack of CBD in the natural food chain is my answer to you there, sir.
the lack of CBD? This is the
Lack of
most pitted podcast
lack
you're
of
gonna
cannabinoids.
find.
No. Listen, hear.
No,
my,
I want to hear it.
Hear my
I like
explanation.
weed.
No, hear my explanation. No, hear my explanation. Right?
I like
Okay.
weed.
Yeah, hold on. So listen. Hear me out. When did we start seeing this excess in, started seeing a lot of cancer, started seeing a lot of autism, birth defects, deformities? 30s, 40s, 50s is when we started noticing a lot of this stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
Fair to say?
Definitely.
Okay. When did prohibition of marijuana start? 1920s, right?
Yes.
20s or 30s, right?
Yep, Harry Anslinger.
Okay. Like the criminalization of marijuana and hemp, most importantly. Hemp. Hemp grew everywhere. Like, weed itself, it grew places, with the stuff you could smoke, that grew places and people found it or whatever. But hemp itself grew everywhere. It was a rule that you had to grow hemp.
Yep.
It was a fucking law.
Yep.
Everybody, if you owned fucking land and you had fucking shit growing, you had to have a plot of it that was for hemp. That was
used
the
in
law.
many tinctures.
Everything.
Literally from 2000 BC China up
Everything.
until the early 1900s.
Up till now. And up
Yeah.
until the early 1900s when they legalized it across the world.
Because it was fucking
Okay.
with too many industries. Pharmacy.
So now we start noticing as soon as that is like cut out of the food chain. Because think about who's eating this wildly grow. It's called weed for a reason. It grows fucking rampant
I know. A sativa
everywhere.
will grow anywhere.
Any weed will grow anywhere. Realistically, so,
Yeah.
shit strains will grow anywhere. But
Shit strains.
so it was normally eaten by all the animals and everything along the food chain, right? Which eventually makes its way up to who? Us
Yeah.
that are eating, and it's been like that forever. It's always been like that. Weed has been growing around the world forever. It naturally grows pretty much everywhere in the world.
True.
On its own, no help from us, grows on its own until
Yeah.
we stopped it from
It's
being able to
true.
grow. Burnt up bunches of fields and tore it all down and turned it into something else.
Created propaganda.
Yeah, created propaganda
through
against it.
William Randolph
But-
Hearst, who
but-
owned the papers.
But back to why CBD is what I think is the answer here. Because so now natural CBD would have been in all of our food sources. It would have been naturally cross-pollinated through bees and stuff into things.
Yep.
It will be
Yeah.
in all the meat we're eating, everything. So we naturally have an endocannabinoid system that is stimulated by cannabinoids. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's not the point. For the point of our discussion, CBD. It's now out of our natural body. The endocannabinoid system is not being stimulated.
Nope.
What do we start seeing? Autism. All this fucking stuff starts coming out. It's like big problems that we didn't seem to see too fucking much happening before of.
So you don't think autism existed?
I think it existed, but I think your body's regulatory system is greatly influenced by its endocannabinoid system, and it's more greatly able to regulate how it develops and runs when it is all fully stimulated. Think about development, mother childhood development. Your mom wouldn't necessarily have to smoke weed to get the fucking get CBD. Just eating fucking meat and vegetables and shit like that would naturally just have it in there. You know what I mean? It would just already be there. You don't have to do anything extra. It's naturally been a part of our body's digestion and living, and just a part of our bodies since the dawn of mankind. We've been eating animals since the fucking dawn of mankind. We have been eating animals. And what do animals eat? They eat plants. And what kind of plants do they eat a lot of times? Fucking weeds. And weeds going to be growing out there. They're going to be eating it. They have natural CBDs. The animals have endocannabinoid systems too. Not all of them are stimulated by THC, but CBD, it's at least there's endocannabinoid systems in almost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're stimulated by it. They have it in them now. It's just naturally in their body. We eat them. It's there you go. You know, it's like just a natural fucking. That's circle of life shit, man. You know, the circle of life.
I also think it has to do with
you know what I mean? But like, so now we start adding. So people are saying that that like weed is a fucking miracle drug and blah blah blah. I don't believe that it's necessarily a miracle drug. I think it's just your body being able to fucking regulate itself and do what it naturally needs to do and handle itself on its own, so it's not working for everybody. No, it's not, because not everybody's body's going to be able to snap back to that, what it's like naturally programmed to be able to handle and do. No, everyone's body's not going to react the same way. Yeah. Of course fucking not. Everybody's fucking different. That's not how life works. But I feel like a lot of people are experiencing these effects and having this happen because their bodies are responding to the cannabinoids. Their endocannabinoid systems are stronger, like more in tune or whatever the fuck, and they're able to handle life, and they're able to get better. Cancer. Look at the kids with seizures who seizures stop immediately. CBD with like cannabis oil.
What do you guys feel about? Have you heard about the pharmaceutical company that is using CBD in some pill that they're going to be using now? Like the FDA is about to approve a drug that's the first CBD it's not like because they had
fully CBD, but it's
it's derivative of CBD, because before they had whatever the fuck it was, Marinol, yeah, which was it was like synthesizing exactly, and this is actual CBD extracted from a plant, and then a bunch of other bullshit in a pill. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, I don't know any of the trials or anything, but if it has CBD in it, I've used CBD, it's been a life changer, and I think that it's good that people who are reluctant to even try the shit because they're so indoctrined into the fucking pharmaceutical complex that they won't see medicine as medicine unless it's prescribed to them in the shape of a pill. So maybe that could help them, possibly, but it also kind of just perpetuates that stereotype at the same time, that the only way it can be a medicine is if it's like stamped up and bottled up.
In a bottled package with a CVS logo on the front.
Exactly.
And says some kind of,
Maralipidem.
Says it can kill you. If it doesn't say it can kill you, they don't even want to hear about it.
It's true. If this doesn't have more side effects than fucking alleviating my symptoms,
it's good. They want to shorten your lifespan. You're a human.
I think they want to just have the quality of your life shitty, but also not shorter, because you don't want to kill your customer.
No, you don't want your customer
dead. But you want to be sick enough where they need to keep coming back.
True. A cure doesn't pay. Simple as fucking day. Cures don't pay. I think we're totally going off to the wrong subject. I think
we're way off the rails.
I think we're way off on subject right now.
Yeah.
We're way over on time, too.
If you're listening to Stoners Saying Things, you can catch us the 13th of every month on YouTube/Stoners Saying Things, SoundCloud/Stoners Saying Things, and Podbean/Stoners Saying Things. And if you want to check out some of our extracurricular activities, you can check out my group Weird Die Young at YouTube/Weird Die Young, or buy some of my music at weirdDieYoung.bandcamp.com. You can also check out some of Joe Buddy's extracurricular activities at masscannabischefs.com. Follow him over on Instagram at mass_cannabis_chefs, and maybe stalk him at Twitter at masscannachefs.